All right, everyone. Twitter is in basically a bag of dicks and shit at the moment. They kind of deserve it because their response to the Rose McGowan thing was, "Oh well, we're gonna temporarily suspend you for 12 hours for like breaking our rules." And what rule was broken? Saying, "Well, yeah, Harvey Weinstein was like being perverted with me." And so was I think she was said fuck you to Ben Affleck, and I think that's exactly why she had her account temporarily suspended. Unfortunately, within the context, what was being said was basically, well, yeah, he's being creepy. Weinstein's creepy. A lot of these people in Hollyweird and DC and sort of gravitating around both. They're perverted, they're weird. This isn't exactly a surprise. I don't think that it surprises anyone that there's a lot of sexual intrigue going on. The funniest thing of all that's happened recently with this is Hillary Clinton coming out saying, "Oh, well, I find this disturbing and disgusting what Harvey Weinstein was doing to women." Bullshit. Bubba Bill did way worse than that. Bubba Bill is twice the pervert Harvey Weinstein will ever be. Can you say that there are other people who I think that, whose names that we know that probably eventually get indicated in some weird shit? One of the top ones, based solely, this is just allegations made on the internet anonymously, so no truth to them whatsoever, but Dan Schneider's foot desires go a little bit beyond the pale, and so I think that his name is at the top of the pool for next one, likely to eventually be exposed by a bunch of former stars. Oh yeah, you know, he's doing this weird shit, he said sit on my lap and stuff like that, always doing foot things. Just a thought there, but I think that's possible. But Twitter really fucked up. And they fucked up because of this. On the one hand, I would say that the idea of like women boycott Twitter, I don't think that it helps anyone. Silencing yourself in the wake of this is not the way to go. It's a good attempt. It's a good idea to do something. Silencing yourself, though, and like abandoning Twitter for a day is not going to bother the people at Twitter. They're not going to get it, other than the fact that the hashtag is trending. They don't fucking understand. And if you look at the hashtag, like everyone there on the top comments are saying, no, I'm not going to boycott Twitter. I'm going to speak out against like abuse and stuff. So that would be my first thought. I don't think that that particularly is productive other than having a hashtag to amalgamate behind. Defend Rose McGowan would have been a better hashtag, or fuck Harvey Weinstein or something like that. Oh wait, Twitter would censor the F word in there. And the other part I'd say is this. You're arguing in a little bit of a sense here with this hashtag. You say it's against abuse and harassment. Harvey Weinstein's style of abuse and harassment has nothing to do with offensive content on Twitter. What we need to understand is that this is just a symptom. Twitter banning Rose McGowan is a symptom of censorship. You are in a roundabout way arguing for another level of censorship. Oh, well, women shouldn't be, abused and harassed. Your definition of what constitutes abuse and harassment may be totally different from a more objective thing. If someone's saying, well, I am going to rape you, yeah, that's obviously unacceptable, but somebody disagreeing with you is not harassment. But yet I've seen Twitter users take it to be. I've seen Twitter users who are so thin-skinned that they look at somebody who simply proposes a counter-argument to something that they've said. Oh, well, you're an evil bigot and you're harassing me. Blocked, Russian troll, Russian bot, something like that along those lines. And it's really fruity. It's really dumb. What we need to do is stand against tech censorship. Like Rose McGowan and all of her backers would easily sort this out on their own. Weinstein and Affleck and all these others would be absolutely hounded and pounded if Twitter would just take a hands-off approach. But remember one important thing. When they try to censor her and say, well, it's not okay to say fuck Ben Affleck, as though a million other people haven't said the fucking same thing, as though you don't hear worse in the most tame of YouTube channels. When they try to censor her from talking for 12 hours for doing that, or whatever else they imagine she did wrong, it just makes her message more powerful. So really, Twitter did this to themselves. Twitter is run by total morons. Look, their stocks are fucked up. Their site has problems like loading messages at this point is becoming more and more difficult. It's becoming more and more tedious. A site that's extremely stripped down and simplistic has severe problems with glitchiness at times. I can't even get verified on my end. Like, I obviously represent a well-known brand, I would think that my numbers everywhere else speak for themselves and verified on every other site. Twitter's still like, no. Now, it doesn't quite rise to the threshold that we need. 170-something thousand isn't enough. Meanwhile, I look and I see people with like a small proportion of that are verified, despite not technically representing a commercial brand. So Twitter is like poorly run. Just their own stock problems, I think about a month ago. Those were funny enough as is. So I think they had to purge some of their staff. Well, that might also, in a way, that might also be why they're having this sort of problem too. They've got less trained individuals who don't really know what constitutes harassment. But then again, neither does an AI system. At least it's real people on Twitter. Unlike maybe some other notorious services. Mark Zuckerberg or Susan, can't pronounce her last name, ring a bell? Yeah, I think so. Meanwhile, Gab is doing just fine. You watch. They're chuckling the whole time. Because the principle is that if Twitter ever did just completely crack apart, we're talking a MySpace-style collapse, like within the course of a couple weeks, half the user base is gone, Gab would explode with growth. They'd need to immediately buy more servers. They'd become the next Twitter, probably. Them and Minds, I think, would absorb a lot of the traffic as well. So then a couple of alt-tech sites would suddenly become big time. I think it would be great if Twitter collapsed. I'm not saying that ironically. I enjoy shit posting on there. I enjoy the ability to very easily share my content out on there. But Twitter itself as a site is heavily censored. Much like Facebook is now, Google is still runner-up in the censorship department, but getting there to the same weird level as these other companies. And it doesn't serve an important purpose like some of these other sites. Twitter is essentially, oh yeah, in a few characters describe how you feel, what you're doing. Maybe post a picture. You can do that on Facebook. You can do that on Instagram. You can do that a million other places. And on YouTube, you can have full-length videos that you could never put on Twitter. So Twitter is basically just a way to host links to content from elsewhere, unless it's just in a picture form. And a lot of people prefer Instagram or Snapchat or something like that for such things. So Twitter is the weakest link of social media. It's run by morons. They should have known better than to try to censor Rose McGowan. They should know definitely better than to try to stick their cock in this situation. They need to let the user base handle it on their own and have a little vigilantism or something. Now, as far as Ben Affleck feeling, slightly concerned that he got told to fuck himself, who cares what Ben Affleck thinks? Ben Affleck goes through an interview with like a woman on his lap the whole time. Yes, it's perfectly normal. This is not sexual harassment at all. See, all the problems are coming out of the woodwork of Hollyweird and DC right now. You probably will see other people implicated over the next few years as people become more and more concerned with these things. At some point, Hollyweird, in order to save itself, will probably be like rabidly pro-censorship. Like, they'll cast aside the last trappings of pretending to be like hippies and like anti-establishment, we're cool, we do artistic stuff. And they'll say, no, we need to crack down this free speech, free expression bullshit. It's really becoming a fiscal problem. They've already got enough fiscal problems of their own anyway. Mainly because 90% of them are talentless hacks. They just rehash the same bullshit over and over again. It's no wonder they have problems on social media, because then everyone can tell them how much of a dick they are. And a lot of these people, they really are. Ben Affleck, yeah, he comes off as kind of dickish. I'm not surprised that he'd get told to fuck off. That's about all. Peace out.